Stay frosty and head over to EasyMut.com for the cheapest MUT coins on the market. And when I say cheapest, I mean it. We're talking 1 million coins for around 40 bucks. Use code DIRECTOR for 5% off. Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the Director. Chargers fans, I want to play a game. You guys ready for episode 2 of our draft series? Would you rather? No, it's not that would you rather, you nasties. It's a draft game that I like to play with you guys here on this channel, kind of going over different draft scenarios that could happen on draft night. So I'm going to be going over 3 different mock drafts with 3 different strategies. What are the Chargers going to do? We're going to go offensive line heavy. We're going to go defensive heavy. You never know. And that's kind of like the mantra of this channel when it comes to the draft. Really, anything could happen. So wrapping your minds around different scenarios that could possibly go down on draft night, it can help us really figure out what Chargers fans want to see happen in April, as well as kind of broaden your perspective a little bit as to what could happen. Maybe the Chargers don't pick the player that you want. Is it maybe a bad thing they went in a different direction? That's what we're here to find out today. So before we do get started, guys, as a reminder, your final reminder, I am giving away this jersey, Air Coryell, signed by 3 of the best Chargers of all time in Kellen Winslow, Wes Chandler, and Charlie Joyner. All you got to do to enter is be a member of my crew. And again, this is more of like a thank you to you guys who have supported my channel in that way. You guys rock. If you guys would like to be a member of my crew, hit up the join button underneath this video or in the top right hand side of my channel. You get perks like members only chat, custom emotes, and getting your names in the end credits of my videos. And in the end, it's a great way to support me and support this channel. And guys, if you're not a member of the channel, don't worry, I got another giveaway coming up here very, very soon. In the next couple of days, we're gonna be starting the process to give away this signed Keenan Allen jersey. You don't have to be a member of the crew for this one. All you guys got to do is be subscribed to the channel. There'll be more directions coming here in the next couple of days. And with all that, guys, let's get into this one. Before we do, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. Small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video. Lights, camera, action. Episode 2 of Would You Rather. Guys, this is becoming one of my favorite things to do on this YouTube channel. I love scenario-based things. I love like opening our minds to different scenarios that could happen. And I liked it so much, as a matter of fact, I decided to make a new custom opener for this specific series. You guys ready? Here we go. I want to play a game. Let's get into it, boys. Would you rather episode 2. We're going to start here with draft A. So keep that in mind as we go through this draft. If you guys like draft A the best, you're going to comment draft A at the very end. But just keep in mind, anything could happen. So I would wait until the end of all 3 drafts. And we're going to go through these ones pretty quick. It's not a super lengthy draft. The computer is going to make most of the selections that are not the Chargers. And with that, guys, let's get into this first draft here. The Chargers, what are they going to do with pick number 13? As we watch some players come off the board, and Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson at number 2, which is very interesting. Penei Sewell falling to number 5. The Chargers options looking very interesting here. We're not going to take any trades in this, just so you guys know, just to make it a little bit simple on themselves. With the selections left on the board, what are you guys thinking? Now, this one's kind of interesting to me. We have Jalen Waddle still on the board, Kyle Pitts. If we want to go offensive line, Samuel Cosmi, Rashawn Slater, Christian Darrisaw are all there. There's a lot of players that ended up getting reached for. Actually, we don't want to go that far down. We're going to mess up our screen. There we go. A lot of players that ended up getting reached for. I mean, Joseph Asai, you never know. JC Horn, you never know. This is, again, you never know what's going to happen on draft night. So Chargers fan, if we're looking at players like Jalen Waddle and Kyle Pitts, what is the selection going to be? Okay, it's very interesting. I know a lot of Chargers fans at this point in the first round, minds are made up. We need to fix this offensive line. A lot of people love Rashawn Slater. A lot of people love Christian Darrisaw. But again, on draft night, if I'm looking at Jalen Waddle, if I'm looking at Kyle Pitts, I have to second guess myself here a little bit, right? So in this particular instance, guys, we've taken the Jalen Waddle route in episode 1. Maybe we did Kyle Pitts too. I don't remember. I'm going to actually go ahead and go with Kyle Pitts on this one. Jalen Waddle's definitely very, very intriguing to me, but Kyle Pitts, This man is miserable to cover on the field because he can line up in so many different places. I would say the best mismatches against linebackers at the tight end spot. Pairing him up with Justin Herbert would cause havoc for the defensive side of the ball of his opponent. So I really like Kyle Pitts. But again, Jalen Waddle, I think, would be the pick if we haven't already gone through the scenario once before very recently. So I'm going to go ahead and take Kyle Pitts here at the number 13 spot for the Chargers. And again, some people will probably be upset it wasn't an offensive lineman. Some people probably be upset it wasn't Jalen Waddle, even though he was on the board. But that's why this is Would You Rather. We're going to get into the second draft here in just a little bit. And then if we get a Jalen Waddle or we get an offensive lineman, you guys can choose that as your favorite. As we get closer into the second round, now keep in mind some of the players that are coming off the board before we get to our next pick in the second round, because this is likely kind of the situation we'll be in. If the Chargers don't take an offensive lineman, what's going to be available in the second round? Alex Leatherwood, Liam Eichenberg, Trey Smith. There's a couple of options that definitely the Chargers can consider even after picking up a skill position in the first round. Now here, to me, I think the way the board has fallen, again, the computer's a goober, all right? Most of the time when you're talking about the likeliness of these players being on the board, it probably won't be like this. But again, this is all in support of the idea that anything could happen. Is Alex Leatherwood really going to be there at the 13th spot in the second round? Probably not. But again, anything can happen. Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle. Got Liam Eichenberg. I think the Chargers, in reality, there's a good possibility that if we do take a skill player in the first round, one of these nicer offensive linemen in the second round might still be available. I really like Landon Dickerson, who I've seen in the second round a lot. You can see Liam Eichenberg there sometimes. What's some other good names that I've seen? Dylan Wren. It's like, guys, there's a lot of good talent that I still think the Chargers can get in the second round. But in this instance, Alex Leatherwood did fall to us. We're going to go ahead and take him, and that's going to wrap up draft number 1 for the Chargers. Only 2 rounds per. Keep that in mind, guys. Maybe in a future episode of Would You Rather, we'll go ahead and add a 3rd round, just because, again, the Chargers have 2 third-round picks, which definitely opens up options for the Bolts if we wanted to go more offensive linemen in the first 3 rounds. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, see what the first round offered us. We're going to go here to the results page, and we're going to go ahead and go to this screen right here. In the first Would You Rather mock draft, the Chargers ended up picking up Kyle Pitts at number 13 and Alex Leatherwood at number 45. So if this is your favorite mock draft, make sure to type draft A in the comments. All right, guys, draft A is off the board. Let's go ahead and get into draft B and get things started. See if the Chargers take a different mentality this time around as to who they're targeting in the first and second round. I think episode 3 is what I'm thinking we're going to target for our 3-round mock drafts, which should be pretty. And the more we do this, the more we'll get into like the groove of how everything works. And so far, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Justin Fields falling to number 4 to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sure they would be very excited to pick him up. Kyle Pitts off the board in this particular mock draft. Let's see who the Chargers have as far as options at pick number 13. Now, this is more likely what I think may happen at pick number 13. Caleb Farley, Kyle Pitts, Kwity Paye. These guys all off the board before the Chargers number 13 pick, which means the best options we have available are Trey Lance, Samuel Cosmi, Rashawn Slater, Christian Darrisaw, and some people really do like Joseph Ossai. So in this instance, guys, I like to live by a mantra here on this channel. I say mantra a lot, right? Mantra. One thing you'll hear me say a lot is I like going best player available for the most part, especially if it makes sense. Obviously, best player available right now that they're telling us is Trey Lance. That doesn't make sense. We don't need a quarterback. Are we that desperate for a backup? I think not. Samuel Cosmi, to me, definitely gets my attention. Samuel Cosmi, 6'7"? I think he's a 6'7" offensive lineman. You got this like apartment building on the left side of Justin Herbert protecting his blind side. Rashawn Slater and Christian Darrisaw. Joseph Ossai is also definitely very interesting. The Chargers moving into a new system, a new scheme in 3-4. Is that somebody you want to consider? I don't know. J.C. Horn is still down here as well. The Chargers are in need of cornerback help. I think, you know, the system that Brandon Staley is trying to accomplish that was very similar to the 2020 Rams. That's somebody you got to consider. But in this one, I think we're not going to overthink it too much. The Chargers are going to go offensive line in the very first pick here at number 13 and take Rashawn Slater, who in my opinion is probably the most valuable player at that point. We're talking best player available, also filling a position of need. Rashawn Slater definitely clicks both those boxes for me, and I'm very happy with the results there. But now going offensive line, in the first round, you got to ask yourself, what will the Chargers be targeting in the second round? I think we've committed to helping Justin Herbert with Rashawn Slater. That's a great pick. But do the Chargers maybe consider going defense in the second round, helping this new system that Brandon Staley's trying to put into place? These are the questions, man. Maybe we make it to the second round. There's still amazing offensive linemen still left on the board, like an Alex Leatherwood. Would that maybe have changed our mind of who we picked up in the first round? These are the questions that would you rather will twist your mind with. Now, there's a couple really good prospects still here on the board on the defensive side, man. Christian Barmore right here. I don't know what kind of scheme he fits, but he's a 4-star recruit out of Alabama. The guy's huge, 310 pounds, 6'5". He's starting 3 technique guy, so I do think that he'd be a pretty good fit for the Chargers. I don't know, man. That's definitely one that you have to consider. But if we're taking a look at maybe more offensive linemen, I did notice that a couple of them have fallen at this point here too. We still have Liam Eichenberg on the board, Tevin Jenkins, Creed Humphrey, which I know a lot of people are high on as well. Based on the players that I'm seeing here, and based on what Rashawn Slater is, it wouldn't be a bad idea, in my opinion, to go one of these offensive linemen. Now, I really like Liam Eichenberg. Tevin Jenkins, I need to watch some more film on, but he definitely looks like a pretty nice prospect to me. But that defensive line guy right here, too, Christian Barmore, I don't see him slip to this pick quite often. And the Chargers' defensive line is definitely pretty suspect. So I'm going to say that the Chargers, they're going to get a pretty good deal on an interior defensive lineman here. We're going to go ahead and take him with our second round pick and help that run defense a little bit, which we know has been suspect in years past. And it's something the Chargers should definitely pay attention to going into next year. So I'm pretty sure that's something Brandon Staley's going to look at and be like, we got to fix this run defense a little bit. So maybe we do see a pick pretty high in the second round trying to address that, whether it's interior defensive lineman, maybe even linebacker. You never know how he's going to want to address that. So this is going to be our second draft right here, guys. Let's go to this screen real quick. User picks in this particular mock draft. The Chargers are going to take Rashawn Slater at number 13 and Christian Barmore at number 45. And with that, guys, let's get into our last mock draft in this episode of Would You Rather. Draft number 3, or should I say letter C. So if you guys liked the first draft, type A. If you liked the second draft, type B. If you like this draft, type C in the comment section below. This one's probably going to be a little different, guys. I know I said no trades, but we'll wait and see. That's what the whole point of Would You Rather. Wait and see what happens if something falls to us that you're excited about. Maybe somebody offers us something that you're excited about. Maybe we do engage in a trade. Not in this one. 2-round mock draft. I'm only seeing a first, a third, and a fifth. I'm not going to take that trade. Maybe we think about trading back into the first round. So here we see Micah Parsons, who honestly, some people say might have some character issues. Other people say he's so good he fits in any system. That would definitely be a pretty good value pick for the Chargers at number 13. But again, it's someone that you guys mentioned that has some character flaws that have been kind of showing up on his tape. And I'm not quite sure I want to commit to that route with a first round pick. But we still have Christian Darrisaw and Samuel Cosmi. Now, in this particular instance, we already went offensive lineman with Rashawn Slater. I think that would be the pick for me in normal instances, and even this case here too. But I'm going to take Christian Darrisaw, who's projected to be more of a tackle, which is definitely what the Chargers need more right now. So let's go ahead and take Darrisaw with the very first pick here. We're going to commit to offensive line in the very first pick right here. And we could have definitely gone maybe Zaven Collins, some guys have been saying is pretty good. The Big E and Travis Etienne. Gregory Rousseau, maybe get that edge threat guy in there. But we're going to go offensive line again. I kind of like the way the board fell in that instance. Now, the Chargers, are we going to see any good trade up opportunities come about before our number 45 pick? I have to wait and see what the computer does. I'm only going to take what the computer gives me. So far, nothing. And I think the Chargers are going to have to pick at number 45. There's a couple pretty good options here. Barmore's back. We got Javonte Williams, running back. Nixon right here. A lot of guys like out of Iowa. I think in this particular instance, in the first draft, we took Kyle Pitts and an offensive lineman. In the second one, we took a defensive lineman and an offensive lineman. I think in this one, like we did last time, I think I really do want to fully commit to the offensive line. And Landon Dickerson here, there are some issues that Chargers fans have talked about with his health. I get that's kind of rolling the dice, but the kind of talent that Landon Dickerson is, he's the kind of player that you do roll the dice on for. And he would be an immediate starter, maybe at center, at guard. He's got some versatility there for the Bolts. And honestly, when you talk about position of need, you're talking maybe best player available. There's a huge case to be made about these top guys here, but Landon Dickerson, to me, if you look outside the margins of that injury, that's a really, really nice pick, and the Chargers really need help at offensive line. So we're going to fully commit to that. He's definitely the best offensive lineman available right now. So we're going to take Landon Dickerson center with our very last mock draft here on Would You Rather. So let's actually go back to the main screen here. Kind of let this play out so I can show you guys all the different scenarios, and you guys can go ahead and put your votes in the comment section below. Which one of these mock drafts catches your eye the most? Which one would you be most excited about if we were to go that route? Actually, a matter of fact, should we take it? Should we take we have an extra 3rd round pick this year, and maybe to give up our 5th? Let's take it, man. I like it. Let's take it. Let's go. We said we maybe want to do a trade in this one. The Chargers are going to trade back into the 2nd round to pick up another prospect here. This is definitely something I wasn't planning on, guys. I think I know exactly who I want to take. We have an interior offensive lineman here in Deontay Brown. Huge presence. I mean, that would be fully committing to the offensive line, right? I don't know, man. To me, the Chargers desperately need help as well at cornerback. We've got Tyson Campbell right here as well. Josh Myers, interior offensive lineman. We got Sean Wade, a lot of guys like that too. I'm going to say if the Chargers trade back in, it's going to be for a huge prospect. The Chargers in this instance have already taken Landon Dickerson and Christian Darrisaw. Oh, this is tough, man. This is tough. Jevon Holland right here too, safety. The Chargers definitely could utilize his talents. I'm going to say let's go cornerback. Let's go ahead and take Tyson Campbell right here. I do think he fits the Chargers very, very well, but it did cost us a 3rd round pick and a 5th round pick. So keep that in mind. The Chargers do have some extra draft capital to play with, but this is going to be your final draft right here, guys. In the top 2 rounds, the Chargers are going to take Christian Darrisaw, Landon Dickerson, and Tyson Campbell via trade. Again, remember, we had to give up a 3rd and a 5th in order to acquire him. And that's going to do it, guys. So in the comment section below, are you guys ready? I want you to post your preferred draft in this episode of Would You Rather. Would you rather take draft A, which entailed Kyle Pitts and Alex Leatherwood, draft B, which entailed Rashawn Slater and Christian Barmore, or draft C, which entailed Christian Darrisaw, Landon Dickerson, and a trade-up scenario for Tyson Campbell? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys would do. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this episode 2 of Would You Rather. Again, episode 3 is going to have 3 rounds. Okay, we're going to go all in with that one. Chargers have 2 picks in the 3rd round, so it should be a very interesting episode. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. Guys, also, last time, or before I head out of here, shout out to Guilty as Charged podcast. If you guys want to check it out, I was actually on their episode this morning. You can check them out, Guilty as Charged podcast on YouTube, or I think they're on Apple and Stitcher and stuff as well. So if you guys want to see a little bit more of me sipping my cola, that's a great way to get more director content and to see these guys. These guys have been great. I love their content. They're very, very intelligent Chargers fans. Well, again, guys, we'll see you next time. This has been The Director. Thanks for joining me. As always, bolt up and stay frosty.